Okay. Let's see. Okay. Hello. It has come to my attention. Okay. That I have messed up the previous two videos. Actually, I did this without knowing that my microphone was off, and so you didn't hear anything I said. But we're gonna try again. I've been working on my level, as you'd seen if you watched it in silence. I don't blame you if you didn't. Um, I had actually forgotten to save one of the times, and so I took a week off to redo everything I forgot to save, and also I added a bunch more stuff. Like this is every time you'd add something else, there'd be new complications. So I went ahead and I added the Creatinator and the Jetpack. And I wanted to save them for later, but I just wanted to get it all over with off camera. So that's all there. That's all complicated. I was talking about making it I know you didn't hear this, but I was talking about making it uh, like a Metroidvania, where as you go, you unlock these different abilities. And I also got that set up. So there's each of these exist. When you touch one, that ability becomes unlocked. And that's all controlled by this. I can turn them all on or all off, or I can go individually and turn on different ones. Like, let's see, if I turn on the jetpack, you'll see the jetpack disappear over there. Yeah. Ooh. Okay. I also I put in a thing for if you hold L2 and R2, it will show you the controls as long as you keep holding it. It's empty right now because I don't have anything unlocked. But if you unlock a bunch of things and then check the controls, you'll see a bunch of different controls there, how they work, and it's dynamic depending on the order of the controls, which ones you get. Well, there is a specific order you're going to get these in, obviously, and the controls page updates as you go. And that is all taken care of and figured out. All right, so the next thing I wanted to do is I have very little. Actually, I think this is mostly the same as it was when I started. Um, so I wanted to make a little course that just gives you each one, and then you have to prove that it works so you can get to the next area. Just a very short course that would give you every ability, just to make sure they all work. That's what I'd like. I also want to change this. I set this up so that it works when you shoot paint at it, but I want to change it so that it works when the blink ball hits it, because I think that makes more sense. The blink ball is like a bowling ball you shoot out. It's bouncier than one, but I think it makes more sense than paint breaking glass. If a metal ball hits glass, I'll do that later. I have different ideas for the different projectiles. Okay. Let's just start, I don't know, over here. Okay. So I would go in order of when each power up was introduced in the games. But right off the bat, the first one's the jetpack, and the jetpack is the most powerful one, obviously, in my opinion, anyway. And I think that's too much. That should be the last thing you get. So we're going to start off with the grappling hook. Why not? So I almost don't want to mess with this. Let's put it back to not, and I'd like to copy this. Okay, just to have it nice and safe before I start messing with it, so I don't lose anything. I'm going to take the grappling hook all the way over here. Probably should have just grabbed all of them because I'm going to be using all of them. Alright, just have that right there. Just grab all of these. Oh, looks like I got a little bit of something else there. Oh, that's the radio. That's okay. Doesn't matter where the radio is. Alright, so the way these work is they actually have no physicality, and they slide backwards when you grab them. So you have to put something behind them so that the illusion is not broken. Yep. Okay. As for the order you're going to unlock these in officially, doesn't really matter to some degree. I want you to get your projectiles. You will get in order of game. That's the way I coded the controls board. It doesn't look right unless you get them in order. So you get, let's see, yeah. You get those two, the pump, and then these two. Oh, the radio, that's why it wouldn't go smoothly. I wanted to put them down nice and gently on the floor. Okay. So that's it for the projectiles. You'll have to do some swimming for a bit before you get the air tank, but I think it should be earlier on because it was Little Big Planet 1 thing, and it's not overpowered. Let's see. Yeah, maybe it's time for the paintball gun first. Let's see. Introduce rails somewhere. Yeah, we'll do rails after water. You'll get the skateboard first, and then you'll get the hook hat somewhere down the line. The hook hat was probably first, but I don't care. It's the skateboard is so much cooler. It has to be first. I think you should get the cape before that, though. And the boots. I think the boots should be a little later. Yeah. Somewhere in the middle, I'm thinking for the boots. Gloves are pretty basic, I think. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Is that right? Is that 13? Let me think. There's 8 regulars and then 5 projectiles. Yeah, that's 13. That's definitely going to be last. I don't know. Actually, I kind of feel like these boots could be. I don't know. Oops. Let's see. See, I'm going to try and space this out a little better. So you get these. It shouldn't just be projectile after projectile. You know, maybe the cape doesn't need to be till later. Okay. I mean, that's fine for now. We'll see where it goes from there. I think I should have a material that you definitely know whenever you see it that you're supposed to shoot it with paint. And just think, you know, what would give that that impression? Is there like a canvas material? There almost definitely is. Be a sponge. But at the same time, I'm not sure. Maybe if I had, let's see what it looks like. Let's say we have some canvas. Dirty looking. It doesn't matter if you're painting over it. No, it's whiter in the picture. What about this one? Like any of those. What about paper? What if it's paper? It's cardboard. Seems like a creased paper. Let's see what that looks like. I think I like that. Let's see if we got any better paper. What about crumpled paper? Ah. What else we got for paper? I am gonna have to. You know, it's just convenient to have these different mechanics that the player doesn't even think about. They just associate different visual elements with the different power-ups. I think that's smart. It's a smart element to include. Just that paper needs to be painted. Oh, I don't know if because I've done several episodes now, and the audio did not record for most of them. So I should mention that I like to use cardboard to start with. Just because I'm using cardboard doesn't mean that's how it's going to stay. It's just because, like you just saw, I can spend a lot of time agonizing over which material to pick. It's like to just for like the broad strokes of the level, I like to start with cardboard and figure it out from there. This room's pretty tight. Okay. Let's just get, well, I'll have to modify that because I'm going to do water. That's okay for now. A wider room. Just close this off right now and reopen it later. There's just not always something to say. You just got a lot of the work is kind of tedious. Just fill in space. Kind of like that. Let's see. Oops. Yeah, it has no physical. Yeah, so it'll just go right through the walls if you're not careful. Stay where you leave it. Where I leave it. Anyway. Let's see. Okay. Get distracted sometimes and mind just goes blank while you're trying to talk and do something. I apologize for that. Oops, messed up the song. There we go. Let's say it takes 5 shots. What do I want to have happen? Yeah. Maybe it should be like Metroid, where there's just like a door. Doors you have to shoot to open them. Okay, I'm thinking we'll have a metal door that is controlled by other things, but there'll be a variant of the metal door that is paper, and when you shoot it, it opens. All right, so let's Let's make the door first. Just need to... That's why the music's not playing. Because I left it paused. Alright. Let's see. Just build this over here. Hmm. Hmm. Man, that music sure is not coming back. I don't know why it's off. There we go. Now it's playing something. Okay. So, when this receives a signal, it will open. Let's see. Notes. And then we got out once. Just to test it. So here. Not good. Oh, this thing also needs to be weightless. So it'll stay in the air. Oh, doesn't work. Why is that still lit up? No, it's plugged in. There we go. I mean, it's backwards, but it works. Or is that backwards? No, that's good. That's good. There we go. Oh, I was considering having maybe the entire world generally tends to be on the big grid. If that's the case, I want the door to sort of follow that, because I want the door itself to be as tall as the big grid and as wide as it, but the actual frame is going to be just a little bit bigger than that. It's going to extend into the floor, ceiling a little bit. You understand in a minute. Okay, I'm going to change how I do this. This whole thing needs to be like that. And this, I'll shrink these down too. So you just take this whole thing, and you just stamp it in where you need it. Did I do this wrong? I think I did this wrong. Let's just stamp it in to begin with. Like that. And you turn the big grid on again. Yep, I made it too tall. So, I don't need this. I might run out of time before I finish. I was hoping it would take the whole episode here to build the whole course. It's a real simple course. No. Oh my god. You know, I'd be lucky if I get half of it done. Well, something to work towards. Alright, so just plug that in there and it should be good to go. Oh, I made that too thin. And it turns out, oh, it's dynamic. Why is that dynamic? That up there. It's got the door bits in it now. let's just do that. A little bit of that. Okay. Oh, I wanted to make a shootable door too. Well, it's easy enough. Just copy the door. Over a little bit. We're going to change the door so that it's made out of paper. There's paper. And then just gonna borrow this. There. See, the door just needs to be shot once. Do want it to reset. No. 3. This isn't a problem I used to have, but I'm finding more and more that I just grab things instead of copying them. It's really annoying. I never used to do that. Okay, so I want this to activate this. So that'll make the door that'll make the door open. But this kind of door, I wanted to reclose after a moment. If you don't take anything, or if you don't go through it, or if you do go through it, it just reseals behind itself. We do that by putting a timer on here. We'll say the door is open for, I don't know, 5 seconds. And I just plug this into itself, and it'll do that. We don't need that anymore. Alright. I think I should wait till we're done to go back and make sure all of this works. Because that'll be fun, right? Maybe? Probably not. Alright, could raise the water level. Oh, I don't have anything important over there, right? Right? Nothing over here that matters that might potentially be broken by the water. What is this? What is this again? I think this didn't work and I ended up having to get rid of it. Yeah, this, we don't need this. That didn't end up helping. I wanted it to detect when you switched what type of projectile you're using. So it could, for whatever reason. And, yeah, ended up it didn't work. I had to have it detect that a different way. All right. So I think our little hallway here should have a drop. We're going to go down to the water. All right, jeez. I'll cut it the normal way. Okay, drop down. I'm not sure what happens if you gain the scuba gear while you're in the water. So I think it would be probably be wise to get it while you're still on dry land. Of course, in an actual level, I'd want the player to have had to swim in water without the scuba gear for a while, and now that there is water, now you need. And you know, that's one thing I've been putting off. I just realized I haven't, because the game thinks of floaty fluid, which is the stuff that came from the SpongeBob levels. Is this stuff? It doesn't think of this as water, like in the traditional sense. I'm pretty sure you can't even drown in it. You just hang out here for a minute. Pretty sure you can't drown in it anyway. But if I wanted to use floaty fluid, I would want to act like it's water. I would want the scuba gear to equip, and I would want to make sure nothing else can equip while you're in there. And that is, I did not account for the floaty fluid, and that is going to be a whole nother thing to install it. So, you know, I really think I should use it because it's pretty cool. And yeah, clearly you can't drown in it anyway. But I'd still want you to wear this scuba gear. See, this is the stuff you can drown in. Right? Come on now, drown. There's bubbles. I wonder if opening your poppet in create mode resets your time. See, yeah, 20 seconds away from drowning. Oh yeah. Poppet resets the timer. Oh, or maybe it's because I touched the floaty fluid. Underwater? Does that work? I'm sorry, this is the kind of science that takes time. It's easier to tell when the timer gets lower than that. Okay, I'm just gonna touch the floaty fluid. Oh wow, that's so weird. Also, the controls are different, which I really wish they weren't. I wish it was just water that was in the air, but it doesn't behave that way. It's like a different thing altogether. You know, if I wanted to. Bet you could make it. There's this one level where you're like floating through space, and they did it a different way. But I think it'd be pretty cool if you were in space and it was just floaty fluid that was invisible. And See if I can't make it quiet so it doesn't make water noises. I don't think you can avoid the water noises and the fact that he's holding his breath. I just wish, they almost did it. If it behaved like regular water, it'd be golden, but it's this weird water that's not quite the same. The ability to put like water up in the air and in like a tank or something, that's really cool. I just wish they did it properly. Okay, so universal water. Let's see, we got let's leave it 10 for right now. Put the scuba gear here. And the scuba gear, as far as power-ups go, I gotta be honest, it's kind of a lame one. It doesn't really give you any. The only thing it does is it makes it so you can stay underwater infinitely without drowning. The water itself, you can still swim in. So that's more of a speciality about water as a material than it is the power-up. It's kind of a no-brainer, though. If you're going to have water, it just makes sense. You'd have scuba gear. So if I were to have a challenge that required you to have scuba gear, then it's got to waste 30 seconds of your time. Or is it a minute? Is that right? I think it's 30 seconds. It's very poor amount of time to hold your breath. Sackboy would fail every breath-holding competition. I think what I do want to have for underwater obstacles, and yes, you would have to be fully submerged, so no swimming on the surface. You gotta prove that you got the gotta prove you got the scuba gear unlocked. I think what would be cool is like some kind of water current. Something that just slows you down. There'd be areas where you can't swim far enough without drowning until you have the scuba gear unlocked. And after you have it unlocked, then I can start using floaty fluid, because then you won't have to make up some fake drowning mechanic or something. So then you always have it when you're in water. Just wish the swimming physics didn't change when you're in floaty fluid. Excuse me. Okay, so I think actually, if you get the wind, there's a wind material. I saw someone talking about Restitched, and Restitched has this like, it's kind of like a bounce pad, but it uses wind, and people were like, oh my god, it has wind. Little Big Planet didn't have wind, and I was like, yeah, it did. Yes, it did. Absolutely did. Let's see what that's like. Okay. I think there actually is a setting you need to activate to make it make it actually affect people or something. Obviously, it's looking like wind, which we don't want. I have to add some bubble effect. Oh, there we go. Affect characters. Yeah. So I'd have to add a bubble effect so you know the wind is there. Well, that's weird. There. Okay, so we got... Actually, I think a bubble material. Probably one of these effects. Do the trick. No. What about... decorations about bubbles, I think? There's an effects section somewhere. Effects. Yeah, scrolling bubbles. It's not quite what I'm going for, but it's a step in the right direction. I believe there is a tool you can use to speed up things like that. Let's see. Yeah, let's try one of these. This is really meant for squashing and stretching, but I think I can use it just to affect the animation. Maybe a little bit of stretching. Change all this to 100%, it'll stop moving. Okay. So... I think just to see. Also, where's the rockets? They used them all the time. The first Little Big Planet. Where's the rocket at? Is it over here? I haven't used a rocket in so long. I don't remember where they're at. Always a missile, but that's not really what I'm looking for. Is a rocket. Yeah, that. Well, when it's underwater, I think it shoots bubbles. How does that look? Yeah, I don't like that. I don't love that. Well, I'm glad I tried it. I don't like that as an effect. Let's see. So I thought I could do it just the decoration mount here. I think there is another animation tweaker or something. You can stamp on there and get it done. Let's try this. Animation speed. Can I change that up? Yeah, truth be told, I never really understood how that works. And that did not seem to do the trick. So I think if I get a material that's animated, and my go-to is the hologram, because it can be made invisible. You wouldn't guess looking at it. Get those bubbles on there. You can go. But if you turn the brightness all the way down, and then you put a black sticker on it, it should be invisible. Yeah. I guess you didn't have to change the brightness, because once there's a black sticker... Oh, look at the bubbles change. I like that look, but the actual bubbles coming out of my face look more like that. So let's not have two different styles of bubbles. Here's the thing: is can I change the speed? I can change the speed, right? Yeah, faster bubbles. It's like that's as fast as I can get them. So that's that. That's gonna have to do. And we just have a couple of those. Let's see. Water current here. The actual current itself should be a little smaller than the visual bubbles. I can't see any of it, whether it's visible or not. Let me put one up here. Let's put a few sprinkled around. Maybe just... Let me actually get these out of the water. Should be easier to see them. Oh no, they're straight up invisible to me even. At all times. I wanted to maybe go like that. I wish they weren't exact copies like that. Let's see, copy this one. That. I'll have to see, because I did that so that they're all a little staggered. They don't look exactly the same. Oh, they kind of do now. Well, you know what? You can make their speeds a little different. Yeah, there we go. They're ever so slightly different, and over time, the bubbles should not have the exact same pattern going on. Although they do when they're right next to each other like that. Okay, so what about... Get rid of this one. God, these are hard to see. Get rid of this one. Let's have one here. Oh, I wanted the right height, though. 2, 3.5. Hold on. Oh yeah, so four big blocks. We'll have... Let's see. That. Well, let's do it like this. Let's have 2 air bubbles. Just connect them. No, it has to be hologram. Right? Because if I use sticker panel, there's no animation speed. Yeah, I would use sticker panel, but it doesn't animate. Excuse me. Yeah, so once they're on the same thing, they just animate the same speed and everything. So, I take this, 200 speed, I copy it, I put, like, you know what? Another one. Just stagger it a little bit. First one. We'll have a third one. Stagger back in. Like that. That's pretty good. And then I'll just change the speed down a little bit. Change the speed on that one by 10%. And have some decent looking bubbles that are somewhat varied. They don't always look the same. They do look kind of similar though. Well, and you gotta ask yourself how much am I willing to put up with for a special effect to look nice? It doesn't look bad. It does look a little repetitive here and there though. Like when they all line up. So I like the spacing good enough. I don't like the timing. And I think I want to let's just do it. Let's just have each one its own little block. We'll just one there. That'll be the basic pattern, right? How about that? Is that better? It's a little better, I think. Just copy this over. This, which I know isn't really solving my problem just yet. Right now, they're all animating at the same speed, which is boring. All the every time there's a big bubble, well, they're a little staggered. It's pretty much always the same pattern every time. So, oops, well, that doesn't help. I still can't see them. There's one. Make this one a little faster then. This one back here. Well, the point is, I'm going to make sure every single one of these has a different animation speed percentage. So they will sync up from time to time, but it won't quite be exact. It shouldn't be anyway. Let me see. I got 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's another one in here somewhere. There's one in the middle here somewhere. I've lost track of. You know what? That's alright, right? There you are. So I give you a different speed. 94. There. That's about as good as I can expect. And I just want to make sure I can glue all these together and treat them as one. But I don't want to glue onto that. Okay. Wow. Nice. I go to test to make sure they're all glued together. And the one I grab is the one that's not glued to any of it. There. Now we have one block bubbles, all animating at different speeds, and you can see the difference, not just in quantity, but the fact that they separate. Like they don't animate the same bubbles at the same time all the time. They do sync up a little bit. There isn't another bubble effect, is there? I'm wasting so much time on this. In fact, I'm out of time for today. I think I should at the very least make sure the ones I've done today work. Do a quick run through and then I'm going to end the stream. I just want to see if there isn't another bubbles. That's good. Okay, so first we get rid of this. Find the wind. There, make sure I can highlight it so I can see it. Grab the bubbles. Slide them over there. That's good, right? Maybe a little further. The problem is, it is hard to swim against, but when you're in it, it doesn't really. Yeah, you just kind of... It's very slow. If I'm swimming with it, do I get a... No, you don't get a significant speed boost. You know, I might have to... I might have to make the actual effect artificial instead of the wind. I might have to make it an actual force you swim against. Doesn't matter. Okay, so let's see if this works. Start here. Grappling hook. As you might remember from before, the grappling hook only works. Press R1 while you're in the air. So now you have the grappling hook. Then you get the gun, paintball gun, and that works as long as you're aiming it. You start aiming it, you get a paintball gun. Oh no, the door doesn't work. Where did we go wrong? I think I know what's wrong. There's a chunk of cardboard back there. Let's go back. Remove the cardboard from inside the door. Here. I gotta add sound effects to the door too, I forgot. But it comes back out. There it goes. Alright. And the scuba gear is automatic. It comes out as soon as you touch the water. It's supposed to go away, but it doesn't like to. Ooh. I gotta fix that. So you can't even try. Ooh, that's another thing. The grappling hook does not overpower the scuba gear. I can't open... You can't open your sack pocket while you're on the surface of the water. I didn't know that. And you can wind up underwater without your scuba gear. Okay, well that's enough for today. I'm going to fix a couple of things off camera, and I'll see you next time.